Hello, you're with India Post Live, India's first live and interactive web conversation, and on TV it will be live, so you can log on. And in fact, it's election season, so do try out our Vote Race, which is a one of its kind interactive web game which you can actually play using 3 political candidates, Raga, Namo and AK-49. Make their race to the finish line by catching and counting as many votes you can. You can see their political wagon going all the way to the finish line. So exercise that political brawn and your mental muscle and have some fun. Now, the now former Chief Justice of India, P. Sadashivam, in fact, has triggered a debate in the legal fraternity by advocating a fixed tenure for the Chief Justices of India. The legal fraternity, however, is divided on the issue. The new Chief Justice of India, Justice R.M. Lodha, who was sworn in on Sunday, he is the 41st CJI, in fact said that he differs on the issue and believes that the collegium is the ideal way of appointment of Chief Justices of India. Take a look.
Justice Sadashivam, who took oath as CJI on July 19th, occupied the post for 10 months. He has opined that short tenures were not conducive to chalking out judicial reforms and their implementation. However, others say it would lead to arbitrariness. Since the retirement age of a judge is 65 years, a fixed tenure would mean either increasing that age or choosing someone who is not the senior-most judge. But don't short tenures leave little space for Chief Justices to take out time to meet stakeholders and frame reform policies?
And to take forward this conversation, we have in the studio Mr. Ranjit Thomas, who is the advocate of Supreme Court and also a former secretary of the Supreme Court Bar Association. Thank you so much, Mr. Thomas. And we have Mr. P.V. Dinesh, who is also an advocate at the Apex Court. Thank you so much. We welcome your views and inputs on this. I'll just come to you, Mr. Thomas. What do you feel? There is completely, a divided debate amongst the legal fraternity on this topic. In fact, the new CJI has also said he still believes in the collegium form of appointment.
Well, I don't think that there is any difference or debate on this issue as a whole. It must have been a view expressed by former Chief Justice. In his experience, whatever he has felt as a judge or Chief Justice, it would have been better if a 2-year term was given so that he could do something like that. But as a whole, one should know the reality that we are the largest and lively democracy in the world. Judiciary is also equally democratic. So all the judges are free to express their views internally with the Chief Justice, whoever it may be. So they can express their views, and whatever suggestions or modifications or changes on policy matters also, they can think and they can discuss and they can make it. Not only that, there is an annual meeting of Chief Justices of the Judges of Supreme Court and Chief Justices of the High Courts also.
Right.
So these are all a regular process where they have to discuss, they can discuss and ensure and see that a policy properly, whatever is there, collectively they can go for that. So there is nothing, and everybody has an ambition to become Chief Justice. So why should you prevent somebody from becoming a Chief Justice, whether it is for 5 years or 1 year or 6 months? That's an equal opportunity for everybody to show whatever caliber they are having. So one should allow that also.
But sir, now for the new Chief Justice, Justice R.M. Lodha, also it will be just a tenure of 5 months that he will be right at the top, as the CJI. Don't you think that is very limited time, and it restricts his ability to be able to be a part of making judicial reforms?
No, actually judicial reforms cannot come from one individual. The judicial reforms in the country will have to come as a whole. And as far as my understanding is concerned, the second judge is the judge who really administer the Supreme Court internally. Even the Chief Justice will look after the larger interest of the court as well as the things, whereas number 2 judge internally manage or administer the administrative matters in the court. So there is an opportunity. The person Chief Justice also earlier could contribute whatever it may be, and every time that happens in that. And it doesn't mean that a judge and the judicial functioning is same for every judges, whether it is Chief Justice or other judge, all are the same purpose. Only administrative matters, that also one can equally contribute by suggesting It's not that I alone can do everything. Collectively we can do everything. That is the attitude where most of the judges are the most judicious and democratic person. So there is nothing wrong that I have to do arbitrarily or I am alone able to do that. That attitude cannot be there.
Right. Mr. Dinesh, I'll bring you in at this point. What are your views on this topic? Do you feel that the legal fraternity really needs to have a lively debate on discussing a different format of appointment and tenure of judges?
Of course, now we are discussing only on the question of fixity of tenure of Chief Justices.
Right.
Of course, it is very much desirable and it is necessary that there should be a discussion, and the debate is in fact going on so far as appointment of judges, the mode of appointment of judges are concerned. That's a different issue. So far as fixity of tenure of Chief Justice is concerned, I respectfully disagree with the views of Justice Sadashivam because it is not necessary. We have to see the background of or the demand for having a fixity of tenure for the Chief Justice. For what purpose? We have got tenure protection for CBI Director,
Yes.
DGP of Police, or certain other vulnerable positions where there can be political interference and their position and there can be interference and that may be really interfering with administration of justice. But so far as a judge is concerned, his position is constitutionally protected.
Yes.
Nobody can remove a judge. Okay, so is absolutely free to function. So then what for we need a fixity of tenure for the Chief Justice, the debate. Of course, the arguments in favor of fixity of tenure is that the judge can bring in, as you said, judicial reforms.
Right.
My friend has rightly pointed out, it is not coming from a particular individual. But of course, individual views will have certain impact. The fact is, the Supreme Court is an institution and judges will come and go. Right? And the Chief Justice, of course,
Yes.
Chief Justice, the style of administration may vary from one person to another. That is there in every institution. Like when you look at the recent judges, you can see the functioning. Some judges may bring in, because the Supreme Court judge, the Chief Justice of Supreme Court is the head of judicial family so far as India is concerned. And he is called master of roster because he's just like a monarch so far as the Supreme Court is concerned, because the entire administration of the Supreme Court is under the Chief Justice.
Exactly.
And he is the person who is constituting the benches. Like he wants to a particular, say, important public interest litigation.
Right.
Such and such he can fix. Such and such judges would be hearing this particular petition, which he can fix.
Absolutely.
And the constitution of the constitution bench, it is the prerogative of the Chief Justice.
Yes.
So these are the administrative and certain appointments in the at the Supreme Court level. So where the views of the Chief Justice will have a say is that, look, like a particular Chief Justice has got a very left lenient Chief Justice is there. Imagine a situation. Left-leaning, left ideology oriented Chief Justice is there. And there is a public interest litigation where he can bring in five Supreme Court judges have the same view and constitute a constitution bench.
Right.
So the decision of that constitution bench is predictable. You know that earlier Justice Krishna Iyer once said he was not made part of constitution bench very often because his views are known to everybody. So it's nothing new so far as Justice Krishna Iyer's views concerned. And the fixity of tenure argument, I'm coming back to that again, is that suppose if Chief Justice has got 1 year period or 2 years period, then the advantage is like he is sending a letter to the government.
Exactly.
Okay.
It has more weightage.
It has more weightage. The government is afraid of Chief Justice.
Exactly.
Okay. If he has got 3 years period or 3 months period or 1 month period, government say, okay, I'll sit over this judge, sit over this letter. Let the new judge come. Yeah, he is going to move out. So he doesn't have that persuasive power. That is the one aspect. Otherwise, you don't need to have any fixity of tenure so far as the Chief Justice is concerned.
On that note, we also spoke to the former CJI of India, Justice V.N. Khare, known for his strong views. In fact, my colleague Nilanjana had a sit-down interview with him. He also believes that a current constitutional framework of India does not allow for a fixed tenure for the CJI. Take a look.
Justice Khare, thank you so much for talking to India Post Live. Justice Sathasivam, who just retired on Saturday, has been advocating fixed tenureship for Chief Justices of India. What is your take on that, sir?
I think what he has said for fixed tenure, that is not possible within the present scheme of framework of the Constitution. One thing is that the judges who are elevated to Supreme Court, we pick up on the basis of their seniority assigned at the High Court level. So, of course, the merit is the dominant criteria, but the consideration is based on the merit, on the seniority, because a particular field is assigned on the basis of the seniority. So, you can't choose and pick. Suppose you find some person who is very junior, who is not in the field of eligibility, appoint him, then the people will start shouting, look, the senior people have been ignored and the junior has been picked up for some disconsideration or relevant and extensive consideration. So this is not possible in the present scheme of framework of the Constitution.
But you know, Justice Lodha, who has just taken over, he took over yesterday, he has just 5 months. How much do you think he'll be able to achieve? Do you think he will have the time to meet stakeholders, talk to stakeholders and frame judicial reforms or new policies?
I think the policy decision should not be taken by individual Chief Justice. A collective policy decision should be taken by the Supreme Court. And that policy should continue, not that independent policy is to be introduced every time when Chief Justice comes. A policy should be framed for all time to come. And the successor will further execute the same, not that every time new Chief Justice and new policies come, it doesn't mean. The policy, whatever the best policy you think, the successor Chief Justice will be part of the policy when the policy is framed. All the 3, 4, 5, 6 successor Chief Justice who will on the line of becoming Chief Justice should be part of the once a policy is framed. And if they agree to that, if they disagree, that is a different thing. But if they are part of the policy, and he has to execute the policy, not that you introduce a new policy every time.
Sir, thank you so much for talking to India Post Live. Thank you so much.
So very interesting perspective coming from the former CJI V.N. Khare. At this point, we'll bring in Mr. Inder Bhushan Singh, who is a senior advocate with the Lucknow High Court. Thank you so much for joining us at the conversation on IndiaPostLive.com, sir. Thank you for your time. What do you believe in terms of fixed tenure that is possibly triggered a debate among the legal fraternity, fixed tenure for the Chief Justice of India, sir?
I think that yes, I think that fixed tenure is necessary because the judges, chief justices who are being appointed, they are being appointed for 14 days, 3 months, 7 months, and during this short period they are not able to do anything. Hello?
Yes, sir. Go on, please.
Hello? They are not able to take any judgment because they are shortage of the time. Only within 3 months or 7 months they are not able to do anything. You see, at this juncture, the judiciary is suffering with so many problems. The most important problem is the appointment of the judges. It is said that we don't need more judges, we need only competent judges. And the chief justices are not able to select competent judges. If they will have a fixed tenure, then they will be able to maintain the discipline amongst all the judges in all over the India. Secondly, they will be able to appoint the competent judges and they will have some mechanism, they can improve some mechanism for the appointment of the judges.
Very crucial point, Mr. Singh. Please listen into what our panelists here in the studio have to say. Mr. Thomas, at this point, I'll bring you in. He does believe that a fixed tenure will be, will give the CJI more space, more time to achieve so much more. It's crucial to actually have an appointment of judges to be sorted out. We were aiming at 50 serving judges per million, and we are still at 15. So the judiciary is still struggling with pending cases.
What my learned friend say, if it is come in the positive, it's a different thing. Suppose if you give a fixed tenure to the Chief Justice and a wrong Chief Justice come, or a Chief Justice who has a peculiar view or something which really don't go into the system, which really follows, the sufferer will be the whole system will suffer out of that. One Chief Justice on longer time or different Chief Justices in the same line as Honorable Justice Khare said. The Indian Constitution is the best constitution in the world. And the Constituent Assembly members, when they made the Constitution, had threadbarely discussed each and every subject of that. If it was required at any point of time, there would have been a mention on that. The Chief Justice of India will have a fixed term.
So, but our times are changing. Judiciary also needs an overhaul, needs to keep up to date with times. Like our friend from the Lucknow High Court is saying that clearly there is a need to bring out certain changes. So why not start right at the top? The guy who takes a decision, the guy, the person who selects a bench and constitutes it really, matters. His tenure really matters.
That's the reason it should not happen also.
Okay.
Because the changing system now, that's what I said, if one person who is different from the whole lot can damage the system. Whereas one person in a shorter time, the damage will be very less on that also. So one should be, because as Honorable Justice Khare said, this is not an individual decision. No Chief Justice can ever take an individual decision. The Supreme Court means the Supreme Court of India consisting of all the judges. Of course, administratively, as my friend Mr. Dinesh said, there is a specific role for the Chief Justice of India. Apart from that, all the judges are equal. So policy decision, how can the policy decision is to be taken together. It cannot be individually taken. So therefore, that term, rather you are hurting the feeling of the judges who are there. They are also equally contributing. Why? Because a judge is having 6 months term only. How can you debar from, or how can you prevent from being the Chief Justice of India? He may do what the other Chief Justices cannot do in 4 years' time. One Chief Justice may be able to do in 6 months' time. How can you stop him from doing that? It is, each individual is different from one to another. So we cannot judge as a whole, and it is the opportunity. Unless you get an opportunity, how will you prove it?
Sir, I wanted to bring in this point that Chief Justice R.M. Lodha also said that he does prefer the collegium system, but he feels that there is, he advocated that wider consultation of people outside, the collegium also needs to be taken in. What are your views on that?
Nothing wrong in that view, because see, those people who are supporting the collegium system and those people who are opposing the collegium system, they all believe in one system, that is collegium. You name it as collegium or using certain other terminology. Basically, the underlying principle is collective decision-making process, whether you call it with whatever terminology. But who should be the members of this collegium, whether we should have a wider consultation for the purpose of appointment of judges, that is the most important aspect. So now the question is, earlier we had a wonderful system because up to 70s and 80s, up to 1991, we had political executive, they were basically they were appointing the judges, and we had wonderful judges. You can see most of the celebrated judges of India are basically the politically appointed judges of those days. Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer, Gajendra Gadkar, Justice Khanna, you name any celebrated judge, they are from that period. Thereafter, we got this collegium appointment system. It has got, it has come to this level now. And now collegial system, because of its functioning for the last 2 decades, it has come to a level where a lot of undesirable decision-making process, it has come into this new system now, and it decayed completely. So that is the reason why now everybody is saying that we should have a relook at the collegium system. But as Chief Justice pointed out, the basic issue is appointment of right judges. That is a right and honest judges is a basic issue which we need. How to identify the right person for the judge's job. Now what is happening is, it is a very secret affair, because we have been interacting with the lawyers in Supreme Court. All of a sudden we may come to know that such and such person has been appointed as a judge in such and such place. Okay, it's a very secret affair.
Right. Which breeds
that, yes.
Which
so
breeds some sort of
now,
corruption.
now of course we know that there is an amendment, constitutional amendment, that is Article 124 capital A. That new amendment has come. We are going to have National Judicial Commission. I really oppose. I don't like the present way it is going to be constituted. That's a different issue. But what I'm saying is that we should have a very transparent appointment system. Then only we will get the right person. Suppose Mr. X is going to be appointed as a judge, then the entire judicial community or the public should know such and such person is going to be appointed as a judge. So if he's under public scrutiny for 6 months, then people can really, of course, there will be a number of complaints. Vested interest people may also file complaints against that person. That's a different issue.
Lobbying.
Yes, lobbying and all that. But if a person is under public scrutiny, then at least we can say whether that fellow was corrupt or whether this fellow had certain other issues which are undesirable, something which
Right.
may bring in,
Bad repute
disrepute
to
in the judiciary. So there will be a transparent screening process. That is the only thing. So how can we have a very transparent screening process? That is the basic issue. How do we arrive at it? Whatever may be the system, that process is the basic. And other issue is we should have, see, every year there are a number of vacancies. And now the collegium system in Supreme Court and 4 other judges, or High Court Chief Justice and few other judges. And they don't have time. You know that Chief Justice has got administrative functions and judicial functions. And all the judges are extremely busy. Okay, so they don't have time to look into. So what the antecedents of a particular person who is going to be the judge. So whom they rely upon? They may rely upon certain sycophants of those people or certain other people. And there may be a very, 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 what do you call, tunnel vision they may have so far as a particular individual is concerned. So that should not be there. What we are looking at is that there should be a permanent judicial commission, like CVC institution, and there will be a number of staff. There will be separate investigative mechanism, and they will be, and everybody can be an applicant. So if you have 500 applications or 1,000 applications,
it will be on merit.
Yes, merit. There will be shortlisting of candidates, and out of this shortlist, you can select a person. And most importantly, now we are not looking at now the people are looking whether you had a sufficient practice. Very, very bad criteria we have. Instead, we should have criteria like whether the person is socialist or a secular, because our constitutions, it says that ours is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic.
Yes.
So the person's socialist credential should be there, or a secular credentials. That is the most important aspect which the judiciary should look into.
Right. I'll bring in Mr. Singh at this point. Sir, our panelists seem to believe that a fixed tenure would actually give rise to, the wrong kind of individuals who could damage the reputation of the judiciary or take the wrong kind of policy decisions. What are your supportive arguments in terms of actually prescribing a fixed tenure? What will be the advantages that you see?
You see, we have already a system in which a Chief Justice is appointed for a limited period. Is facing very problems regarding the corruption prevailing in the judiciary. A Chief Justice has to act administratively in order to remove the corruption from the judiciary. The first thing is that the transfer of the judges. If a Chief Justice is himself having a tenure of 2 months, 3 months or 7 months, he won't be able to decide that which of the judges to be transferred, has to be shifted from this place to that place. Now the second thing, as I said, the appointment of the judges. If the appointment of a suitable person as a judge is made, then this problem of pendency will also come to an end. Therefore, whatever the judicial acts of the Chief Justice is concerned, I am not concerned about that. Any person can act as a judge and he can decide as many cases as he can. But the question is that the Chief Justice is the head of the institution and he has to take some strong administrative decisions. And for that, a fixed term of the Chief Justice is required. I think that not the fixed term, but at least 3 years term. You see, the Cabinet Secretary's term has been fixed. The Chief Justice, the Army Chief is also being asked to have some.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yes. Then all the heads are being appointed for the fixed term. Then why not the Chief Justice? If the Chief Justice will remain for a period of 3 years, then for 3 years he can do something. If he has some vision, then he will be able to enforce it. Otherwise, for 6 months, 7 months, 3 months, and for even 15 days, we have seen a Chief Justice for 15 days, he won't be able to do anything.
So, I just wanted to ask you, Mr. Singh, whom do you think then should be, on what basis should it be decided who then will have the fixed term? If it is not the collegium or not seniority, then on what basis then do you appoint the Chief Justice of India then, if they have a fixed tenure?
The Chief Justice, the manner in which the Chief Justice is being appointed, the senior most judge is appointed as the Chief Justice. He may be given 3 years term, and the next Chief Justice, whosoever be the senior, he shall also be given 3 years. In this way, something has to be done. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, sir. I just wanted to know, wouldn't it disturb then the, I just want to know, since he's saying, is it practical, then it would disturb the line of appointment, seniority wise?
Thoroughly impractical. Sorry, I respectfully disagree with a senior lawyer, because it's not as we discussed, that is a matter of policy, and the 3 years period, we have got judges, chief justices have got 3 years period. What is the greatest thing they have brought in? They have not brought whatever my friend was talking about. And the other issue is talking about the transfer of judges. Whether the judge has got 1 year, 1 month period or 2 months period, he can transfer any judge. Of course, the transfer policy itself is absurd. That's a different issue, because the judges, because one judge, like there is a proposal to transfer, say, ex-judge from Madras High Court to maybe as a punishment to Sikkim High Court. Sikkim is the most favored High Court for transfer. Whichever part of the country, if they commit some misdemeanor, then they will be transferred to Sikkim. Right. Of course, Sikkim High Court lawyers, they are objecting to it. Our High Court is not for accepting those judges. Okay, now of course the judiciary is seriously rethinking about that issue. The basic issue is, so far as judicial function of Chief Justice is concerned, that is not different from the judicial functions of other judges. He has got an extra administrative functions, a huge extra administrative function he has got, of course.
Exactly.
And the only issue is, suppose if there is a minimum fixity of tenure, but it will be it will be unnecessarily disturbing the second senior most judge, because I'll just elaborate. I think I can take 1 or 2 minutes more. See, here what happens is, suppose if apart from writing letters to the government, a Chief Justice sending letters to, calling a meeting, right, calling all Chief Justices of High Courts, it may take some time. You would like to discuss the issues of judiciary with all Chief Justices of various High Courts. So if you're sending a letter and coming back and fixing a time for meeting, it may take not less than 1 month or 2 months period. So that may be quite insufficient. So you'll have to drop that idea. Okay, during my period it may not happen. We had judges, Chief Justice with a 17 days tenure.
Exactly.
17 days tenure. But it is, we have to...
It just seems like the system is in place, and then the judicial fraternity, the legal fraternity doesn't want any change. No, it's like the armed forces, where they do make an exception. This is the first time that the Indian Navy has made an exception. They have let the seniority get superseded by somebody who was merited.
No, there are various issues, like a very bright, promising lawyer becoming a judge. Okay.
Exactly.
There are, then he is becoming a judge, hoping that he will be the Chief Justice of High Court. And of course, he may reach Supreme Court early. He has got fair chance to be the Chief Justice of India. These are the projections in mind of a particular person who is sacrificing his career. You know that a Chief Justice may get only a lakh of rupee plus certain perks.
Yes.
When compared to the Supreme Court lawyer, the promising lawyer, they make at least phenomenal amount. Yes. There are certain lawyers who are making 45 lakhs to 50 lakhs per day in Supreme Court.
Yes.
Of course, they are brightest among them. They won't, most of the people who are really preferring that sort of a career. And if you want to attract best, brightest people to the judiciary, then you should not unnecessarily bring in, or should not change the goalpost in between.
Right. Mr. Thomas, your views on this topic, do you think that...
My views, I have already expressed that as per the existing system, it doesn't matter. Chief Justice is there for 17 days or 6 months or 3 years. It is a collective wisdom and judicial understanding, as well as the togetherness of the Supreme Court judges,
yes,
who are interested to take the legacy of the Constitution of India and ultimately the public interest and whichever other means. What is the interest of a judge? To do the justice.
Yes.
And a judge is next to God. So there cannot be anything else in
between. But you don't feel in the larger view that there needs to be an overhaul? The need of the hour seems to be that better delivery mechanisms.
What are you gaining? What are you gaining if you bring it 2 years? What are you, as I told you, a judge with more wisdom, understanding and experience who is capable enough to do say in 6 months time, another
will do
person,
it. He will
another
achieve it.
person in a slow and mindful
May
way
not
of
still
thinking
achieve
may
it.
not be able to do 4 years time also. So
Exactly.
how can you judge a person in advance?
Right.
You have your caliber, your capacity, your intelligence, your everything you have. So it is for, unless you get an opportunity, how are you going to perform it? So this is where the system has not faltered so far. Today Supreme Court has made this country united, irrespective of the political and bureaucratic and all other drawbacks. The judiciary, the Supreme Court has kept this country's flag flying high in the whole world, and I think that at the present system, the Constituent Assembly members has deliberated it so nicely and preferably, the best in that way, and let us think and continue that unless and until there is some fault which is absolutely shown, yes, because of this fixed tenure is not there,
exception, yes.
the system is collapsed. Where is it? Nothing.
In terms of changes in the judicial system as such, if you look at an overhaul, do you feel that the federal structure also poses a bit of a hurdle in terms of implementation or disposing of cases that are pending?
It may not be. It, see, actually everybody should introspect. I as the judge, I as the lawyer and officer of the court, am I doing right thing? If a judge is doing the real thing and real justice to the people, there is nothing to bother about. Every judge is equal. There is no difference between a judge, whether he is for 6 months or 1 year or 3 years. We, the people of India, look as a judge as a god. So to do justice to the country, and we don't think why should there have an internal thing at all. There should be together for doing justice to the people and protecting the constitution and the judicial system.
So, but don't you feel that the process is really slow? We are not able to address pending cases. There aren't enough judges to,
That is a different issue now. You are saying about the fixed tenure of Chief
course,
Justice.
but in
You
terms
are
of a
saying
larger-
there
issue-
you have to think how many judges should be there.
Yes.
For as proportionately. The people of this country 125 crores today.
Yes.
So what is the judges people proportion? You have to see all those things in that way. That is a totally different issue. It has nothing to do with the tenure issue at all in there.
correct?
See, so far as your question regarding the federal structure,
Yes.
is it really there will be an imbalance? See, when we are discussing about the fixity of tenure for the Chief Justice, we should discuss about the fixity of tenure for the High Court Chief
High Court
Justice,
judges.
right?
Yes.
So there is a Chief Justice for High Court, and constitutionally, or as per our structure, High Court Chief Justice is not subordinate to the Supreme Court Judge or Supreme Court Chief Justice.
Right.
In a judicial decision, the Supreme Court decision is binding on the High Courts. Otherwise, they are the supreme so far as our federal structure is concerned.
Right.
Right? So they are the head. So this argument that High Court Chief Justice will not have more tenure or fixity of tenure, that is the corresponding
that seems to be
argument.
the basis.
That's a different. So we are not going to, that's we are into an undesirable debate. It's not at all necessary to have a debate like this. First of all,
Right.
and second, the problems of judiciary is basically so far as addressing pendency of cases, etc. That is basically we don't have the sufficient infrastructure, right? As how can you create infrastructure? You can create infrastructure if there is a budgetary support by the government. There should be
Right.
revenue. There
Right.
should be more funds to be allocated for the functioning of judiciary. So for that purpose, you should have constant negotiation with the government and bring in more funds. Now, so far as allocation of funds to judiciary is very, very minimal when compared to other segment is concerned, education, all other segments are concerned,
Right.
very minimal.
Very.
So we should have a decent allocation of funds. Even there was a discussion, I think Justice Kabadia was, while he was a judge, he mentioned that we should have a separate budget for judiciary, like railway budget,
Yes.
Union budget, like judiciary,
Yes.
and there should be a fund allocation for.
It's a valid-
So,
it's a valid
So then
requirement.
we can create, because judiciary is also, that the court fee is very high. The courts are also collecting money. I mean, and certain cases there should be a thorough overhauling of the system. Like we have got the Reliance fight, for example. You know that two brothers fought in
Yes.
Supreme Court for
Yes.
three months.
Yes.
Okay. Then I think 2 months or 3 months. I'm not
Three,
sure.
I think.
3 months. Then filing of a petition court fee in Supreme Court, SLP filing court fee is only 250 rupees, right? And
But the
plus
number
plus
of
plus plus plus.
manpower, yes.
So you say it's a commercial dispute,
Right.
and the whole Supreme Court sat for these many months. And see the cost involved in, and you are entering into a resolution of dispute between two companies or two brothers, and how much the court got it out of, so far as administrative
of it,
expenses
right.
are concerned, minimal.
Minimal.
So there should be an overhauling so far as the court's expenses are concerned. That fund should come. There should be a pro rata collection. Like if there is a huge commercial dispute running into 10,000 crores or so, there should be a decent court fee, which will take care of the expenses of the courts. At the same time, poor man, we should not. That that
There needs
system
to
should
be,
be there.
yes.
Yeah, there should be a balance fee.
Right. I'll just take last comments from Mr. Indrabhushan Singh. Sir, what is your final stand on the tenure for the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court? What are your last views?
Madam, audio is very bad, but what I could gather from the conversation, very little I could gather from your conversation. What I submit that for administrative function of a system, the head of the institution must have sufficient time to deal with all the problems. If the head is not having sufficient time, the system will collapse. The system has to be maintained. The dignity and the decorum of this system is falling down very, very fast. It has to act.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Indrabhushan Singh, for taking out time on a very busy Monday for joining us at the conversation on India Post Live. We appreciate your inputs and perspective. Thank you for joining us.
Can you add one
yes.
more aspect?
Yes.
So far as shortest tenure is concerned, I have a solution that I suggest. Like suppose if Chief Justice has got only 5 days tenure or 10 days, then there should be a voluntary relinquishment of that post. The senior most
Fair
person
enough.
said, look, I got only 10 days. I don't want to
rather
going
not.
to Rashtrapati Bhavan's hearing and coming in after 10 days, I'm going out. I don't want this. You please take over. So that is
The
the
next
best.
senior most.
Yes,
Yes.
next senior most. So you can request that would be a
A service
most
to the
sacred,
judiciary.
sacred thing which is expected from a person holding such a post.
Right. Do you subscribe to
How
that?
can I say it's all left to those persons whether they had
I
an
said
ambition.
voluntary. I said voluntary.
That's what I'm saying. They had an ambition to be Chief Justice of India.
Yes.
What is your ambition in life? You don't have to be a very rich man. You can be an honest man, but you can be Chief Justice of India.
It's about the post, the sanctity of the post.
So you being the Chief Justice of India, why should you deny a person who is legitimately entitled for that and he is the best in the lot? Why? So voluntarily, yes. Voluntarily, nobody can stop anybody. He is right in that. Voluntarily, if anybody
But
wants,
are we
it is
sure
left to
he's
them.
the best in the lot, sir? He's just a senior most.
Anybody, how can we judge who is the best? After 10 years, what is going to happen? Can we say now? And who is going to be best also? Because it is the members of the bar and the people know who is best in that. So, therefore, we cannot prejudge or advance. We cannot say, of course, as anybody can say that I don't want to become Prime Minister of India, like Sonia Gandhi said. No, somebody can say I don't want to be Chief Justice of India.
But you're not open to any exception being made at any point
Why
in
should,
this tenure.
what is the change needed? What is the fault so far? Is there anything for so far? What is the constitution? We are all going strictly as per Constitution of India. If there is any fault at any point of time, specifically you can point out, yes, because this judge had only 3 months time, 6 months time, this is not happened and the system collapsed. Yes, you have to think about it. Has it happened anywhere? No. So why are you worried about it?
See, another interesting fact is that no judge will say, no, I don't want to be the Chief Justice.
Exactly.
Because even if you are Chief Justice only for 5 days,
You would want to
rest
be.
of your life you are known as former Chief Justice of India.
Great.
And there is a world of difference between you writing after retirement, Judge of the Supreme Court and former Chief Justice of India. Yes. Nobody is going to ask how many days you served as Chief Justice throughout his career. And there are so many things attached to it.
On that note, I will wind up the show. Thank you so much for your very interesting perspectives and clarifying your stand on this engaging discussion at indiapostlive.com. Do put in your comments and views on what do you think about the fixed tenure possibility for the Chief Justice of India. We have heard the voices and the comments here. Clearly, your opinion is also something that would be welcome on our website and our Twitter handle @IndiaPostLive. Clearly now the stand is clear, at least in our studio. It's the sanctity of the post of Chief Justice of India that really needs to be maintained, and within the constitutional framework, there seems to be little room for a change. Goodbye and thank you for watching.